right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Stephanie Vasquez, and I have the fortune and privilege to serve as the Chief Program Officer for AlamoPROMISE here at the Alamo Colleges District. And I have to say, it is wonderful to see so many familiar faces here in this room this morning, many of whom have been helping hands over the last few years since we started Promise. So I just want to thank you all for joining us for this very special announcement for our AlamoPROMISE program. And I do want to take a moment before we get started to acknowledge our Promise scholars, our very own students that are here in this room. So if you could please take a seat. I think I saw Ms. Doris, Seth, and a few others. Just go ahead and wave, and we'll give you a round of applause. Thank you for being here this morning. We know you've had a busy fall semester, you've had finals, so thank you for taking time out of your day to be with us. So at the Alamo Colleges District, it's our mission to empower our diverse communities for success. And with that in mind, we are so excited to make this formal announcement that the Alamo Colleges has again expanded its offer of tuition-free college through the AlamoPROMISE program to now cover all public Bexar County Independent School Districts and their high schools. Yes, thank you. So we're going to be doing a lot of clapping this morning, but thank you for that round of applause. Give yourselves pats on the backs. This is just an amazing announcement to make, and we're so happy that you all could join us. But this morning, you will be hearing from our board chair, Mr. Roberto Zarate, our chancellor, Dr. Mike Flores, our City of San Antonio Mayor, Ron Nuremberg, Dr. Brian Woods from Northside ISD, our partner superintendent, and you'll also hear from Melissa Guzman, parent of a Brennan High School student and prospective AlamoPROMISE scholar. So thank you again, everyone, for being here. Now, to kick things off and tell you more, I'd like to welcome our very proud board chair, Mr. Roberto Zarate, to the stand. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. We're very fortunate that we have light in the building. Last night we had a meeting and the whole building shut down, so we're doing great there. It's a great day today.
Sorry.
Okay. Thank you. I am privileged to serve on a board that has done an incredible job of staying cohesive and community-oriented and have done some incredible things. So we get awards without even trying for them. Last night we got one for greatness. We had no idea we were going to get it, and we got it. But a lot of it has to do with the way our board has proceeded with implementing our particular a need to be important to the community and to recognize what the community means to us. And I have one board member here, our trustee, Joe Alderete. Let's give him a round of applause. Joe. And we're the only board in the state of Texas, the only board in the state of Texas has a student trustee, and that's Kara Sullivan. Today's an important day for us as board members because a while back, I think about 4 years ago or more, we decided to look at this particular program, the PROMISE program. We heard about it through the Obama administration, and Dr. Leslie and I, for example, were part of the organizing committee for the national effort, which has not really taken hold. We brought the program to San Antonio, to the Alamo Colleges, with the understanding that we would try to make it as sustainable as possible. One of these programs is very hard to sustain with the kind of budget we have. And Brian, you know that good and well. But you know, this board has made it happen, and the administration has made it happen, and it's gone beyond anything that I discussed at the national level or at the state level. So I think we're at the forefront of something incredible. When Ms. Vasquez told us that we were going to expand to all the public schools within Bexar County, I couldn't believe it. I didn't know how we were going to sustain it. What's sustaining the program is the partnerships that we have. The partnerships with the ISDs, the partnership with the business community. Richard, the business community has been very responsive. My phone is ringing, I'm sorry. Anyway, I'll ignore it for now. I forget these things, you know. By the way, I'm on a road trip to see my granddaughter graduate from high school. And I'm doing that segue because, I mean, not high school, college. She's at North State University, State University. But the thing is, it had not been for the dual credit programs in Northside, she would have had to wait another year to graduate. But she went in with a full year of dual credit. So bringing it back to what we're discussing about today, those partnerships are all so important for us to maintain the quality of service that we're all looking forward to. Mayor, when you go back to your council, tell them we're the best return on investment that any entity in this county can provide. And these wonderful people that are sitting out here that from the Alamo College are part of that. And speaking of that, I need to introduce our Chancellor, is that correct? Our Chancellor and his staff have done an incredible job of making sure that we can sustain this effort. There's a network, and I think Ms. Vasquez is going to tell you about it, that is an amazing combination of resources that have been brought to bear. So, Dr. Flores, before you come up here, I want to excuse myself because my wife is waiting in the car, and, and I've got to get to North Texas as soon as I possibly can. Dr. Flores, our Chancellor.
Drive safely. Congratulations.
I got you covered, don't worry.
You can see that everyone's always in motion here at the Alamo Colleges. So, buenos dias, good morning, and thank you. I want to thank Chairman Zarate. I want to thank Trustee Alderete, Student Trustee Kara Sullivan for their support, and especially last night, their approval of the AlamoPROMISE initiative to be able, as Ms. Vasquez said, to bring it to scale. It's actually a pleasure to be here with partners through and through, and so to be joined by Mayor Ron Nirenberg for his vision and who has been a partner for the last several years, in particular with relation to AlamoPROMISE, with Dr. Brian Woods, who as superintendent of Northside has been our partner, and now with this expansion will be our largest partner in AlamoPROMISE. And of course, the whole intent is that we make a positive impact. And so we're fortunate to have a student testimonial here today, and who better to give it for a student than your own mother as part of that. So it's all of us coming together, and this would not be possible if it were not for the leadership of Stephanie Vasquez with her AlamoPROMISE team, and actually with the team throughout the Alamo Colleges district, many of whom are here today, and many are watching us virtually through streaming throughout all 5 of the colleges and the centers. But I want to ask Alamo Colleges faculty and staff to rise so we can give them a round of applause. Please, y'all. This would not have been possible without not only an articulated vision, but being able to ensure that we are able to connect each and every student to the possibility of higher education. And it's really been all of my colleagues here and 5,000 colleagues throughout our Alamo Colleges district family that make it possible. And about, in the 2010 to 2013, there was a conversation at a board meeting just like we had last night. Mr. Alderete mentioned something about free college, and so from that initial discussion, actually, we were able to move that forward. And so I want to thank him. I want to thank Chairman Zarate and our trustees for being able to keep us on task to achieve and be where we are today. I also want to thank our steering committee members who are here this morning. I want to ask them to stand. So I know Richard, the mayor, actually is a tri-chair, superintendents, and Ryan, I saw you. If you all could stand as members of the steering committee or wave. There you go. So I think when we first started in fall of 2018, who would believe, one, that we would be able to do a launch, right? 2, that we would look at best practices, traveling to the state of Tennessee, also visiting our neighbors up north in Dallas and looking at those initial programs. And then from conversations from the work of the steering committee, from funders that made it possible to be able to make something truly our own here in San Antonio and to make sure that we change and provide support to initially thousands, but as we expand to tens of thousands of students that will improve their lives. And so I want to be able to talk about several of the proof points in particular, but this is really about providing credentialed talent. This is really about ensuring that each and every one of our graduating high school students within San Antonio and within Bexar County are able to earn a credential. They're able to affirm or sustain their foothold in the American middle class. They're able to provide economic and social mobility for themselves and everybody within their household. Oftentimes what happens is I think the conversations that my colleagues have or our school district partners who are here as well, when we talk to students in high school, it's not that I don't want to go to college. It is whether I can afford to go to college. And it's not only paying the tuition and fees, it's oftentimes, can I afford to work less hours? Can my mom or my dad or my grandparents do without the hourly wages that I'm going to earn? How is it possible for me to even calculate that opportunity cost when we struggle day to day? And I think that's what Alamo Promise is all about and what we do at the Alamo Colleges. It's really about what we talk about our moonshot to end generational poverty in San Antonio through education and training. Alamo Promise is one of those ways, one of those movements that is going to be able to achieve that because it takes a cost calculation off the kitchen table. It ensures that students can talk to their parents or others about going to school and what they want to study, because cost is no longer part of that. And the other part here at the Alamo Colleges is the wraparound support services that we provide to each and every one of our students. When we talk about advocacy support services to ensure that they can have food on the table, that if their car broke down or if they had to go to the emergency room, they're able to pay that bill and they don't have to drop out, or they don't have to work more hours to be able to do it because there's an emergency grant. If they just need someone to talk to, that there's a caring professional that's going to partner with them. And I think that's what's most important about what we do here, but that's most important about what we do in partnership with folks within the community. So I want to give you a couple of proof points about Alamo Promise, and in particular what's so important about it is that we're in our fourth year, right? So from those initial visits to Tennessee and Dallas, we were able to launch successfully. We currently serve about 20 school district partners, and we will be able to serve, as Ms. Vasquez mentioned, 73 San Antonio area high schools as a result of the expansion that was approved last night. That is within 1 year, an increase of 26 new comprehensive high schools from last fall to this fall. I think that is pretty astronomical. So if we look at the expanded list of 73 high schools, we are going to target net new, imagine, the universe, right? I talked about a moonshot. Net new 20,500 graduating high school seniors will be eligible for the Alamo Promise. We estimate as part of that we'll reach, of course, one of our trustees wants us to reach all 20,500. That's right. We estimate that we will reach close to 6,000 of those that will ultimately enroll as a baseline. At least 6,000 of those students will enroll within Alamo Promise. This seems something that could not be achievable, but imagine we're already in our fourth year and we're already going city and county-wide to serve 73 area high schools. Last year, in fact, we graduated our initial cohort of Alamo Promise scholars, and we had a record-breaking year with close to 9,600 students who saved their seat to enroll in Alamo Promise. They pulled out this device. They were able to pull up the initial landing page and save their seat. These are students that are coming from some of the highest poverty rates, not only within our community, but also, unfortunately, within the United States. As I noted earlier, our students make that calculation about an opportunity cost, not only about whether they can afford to pay the tuition and fees, but whether their family can afford a decrease in wages and still put food on the table. Let me tell you about these Alamo Promise scholars. Imagine that over a third of them are pursuing STEM-related careers. What's necessary for us to be globally competitive as a community. And in fall of 2022, we welcomed our largest cohort to date of 3,850 Alamo Promise scholars that started in late August their courses and actually are finishing with finals this week at all 5 of our colleges. These are students from every school district within the city, not only Northside ISD, which had the highest increase in attendance and is our top feeder school district, but also SAISD, Northeast ISD, Judson, Southwest, East Central, Harlandale, and others. I think most importantly is how proud all of us are of Alamo Promise, of what we've been able to achieve in partnership with others to ensure that we can achieve that moonshot. Last night, not only was Alamo Promise approved by our Board of Trustees, Mr. Sohanovitz, Mr. Alderete, Chairman Zarate, but we were also fortunate that our board approved the receipt, Mayor, of the City of San Antonio interlocal agreement of $2.5 million, which is a continued investment in our partnership. So often folks talk about a moment in time or a window of opportunity in which to make things happen. And I think this is one of those moments in time. It's being able to ensure that you have the right folks at the table, being able to ensure that you have the right partners to have those conversations with students and their families and talk about the potential, because they already have the passion. It's just being able to have the resources. It's being able to ensure that we work in partnership with others, whether it's with the city, whether it's with corporate funders, the chamber, school districts, whether it's with our Alamo Colleges Foundation to ensure that they can have those conversations, whether it's having the right elected leaders at the table. As I introduce the mayor, I want to thank him for the vision that he's articulated for our city through close to 3 years of really challenging times and being able, right, at a few minutes after 6 to know what's going on, but to ensure that we're able to move forward, that we're able to be successful as a community, that we can support each and every student. Most importantly, we can support each and every individual to earn a credential. So I want to welcome to the podium, and I want to thank Mayor Nuremberg for his partnership. I want to thank him and say that we're fortunate for his articulated vision, and I look forward to continuing as we expand Alamo Promise. Thank you all.
Good morning. Thank you, Mike. I'm here as a proud member of the steering committee for Alamo Promise, really to salute the leadership of Chancellor Flores and the entire Board of Trustees and the team here at Alamo Colleges. This is very much a teamwork enterprise here for the Alamo Promise, but everything that we've been able to accomplish in the city of San Antonio relies on us working together. And I know you remember this, Richard, and I know you remember it, Mike, the team that we had in SA to DC, I think in 2018, bringing corporate leaders in our community come down to talk about this concept of Alamo Promise and why they should get behind it. I want to thank our collaborators, our funders throughout the community for that opportunity created for now these tens of thousands of students in our community. We are laser focused in San Antonio on building an inclusive economy, one in which every person has the opportunity to prosper from the growth and the trajectory of the city that we know is going places. And the Alamo Promise is Mike can't put it in any better terms. It is the moonshot to end generational poverty. We said it at the beginning, we say it now, and we will continue to say it so long as Alamo Promise remains a reality, and I hope it does eternally, because this is what we should be doing for our community. To our county leaders and to our city leaders, thank you for your support, for your vision, for putting our money where our mouth is. I remember saying when there was a little bit of a debate happening on the public side of this, that this would be our most important dollar spent from the city budget. I stand by that. This is the best community college district in the nation, and to have our students, regardless of their circumstances, be able to pursue their full potential through the Alamo College District is a gift not only to those students and their families, but to our entire community. So congratulations, our entire community, and certainly to the Alamo team. Congratulations, Mike.
So thank you, Mayor, for those comments. I have to say the city, all of the city staff have been incredible partners. Since we've launched this program, we couldn't be here without that help, so thank you so much. So thank you all. Well, it's wonderful to take a moment to reflect on all of the things that we've done in just a few years, but at this time, I would like to welcome Dr. Brian Woods from Northside ISD to the podium. Dr. Woods has also been a wonderful partner from the very start of Alamo Promise, and he's going to share a few remarks with you all as well. Dr. Woods.
Good morning. Thank you, Stephanie, and thanks to the Alamo Colleges, Dr. Flores, for all of the progress that we have made on Alamo Promise, and for all of the partners who are here to share in this celebration this morning. On behalf of Northside ISD and over 100,000 young people and their families, we want to thank all of you for the work that you have done to expand access to not only tuition-free college, but the wraparound services that Mike mentioned that are so important to provide a student with that calculus that allows me to look at that opportunity cost and say, that's doable. I can go make that happen for myself and for our family. Part of what we have done as K-12 educators over the years is transition out of a time where we saw our role was to get students to that graduation stage, and then that pretty much ended our role. And those students transitioned on their own, sometimes frankly not very well, to the next stage in their life. And we see our role very differently now as needing to be a key partner in a smooth handoff between us and the next phase of their life, which for so many students in Bexar County is the Alamo Colleges. And we are proud to see our role more broadly that way, and the promise helps us in order to enable that. So we are so appreciative of that opportunity. We are proud to continue the partnership with the colleges to remove barriers. You've heard multiple speakers talk about the goal for San Antonio and Bexar County to end generational poverty. And I don't know that any of us can think of a better way to do that than to provide upward mobility for our young people in Bexar County, as they will then be able to pass those skills and values on to their children going forward. And we are so excited to play just a small role in that. And so you have heard that you're actually not going to hear from a prospective Alamo Promise student because all of those young people are taking final exams as we speak this morning, regardless of the school district. And so it is for Aiden Rodriguez, who is a Brennan High School student who is, according to his mother, sitting in a calculus exam as we speak. And God knows we want that young man in a calculus exam. So we are very proud to have his mother, Melissa Guzman, here to represent him. Please help me welcome to the stage Ms. Guzman.
Good morning. Hello, my name is Melissa Guzman, and I'm honored to be here to show my full support of the expansion of the Alamo Promise program. I am a mother of 3 beautiful children. Ashland, Brooklyn, and Ayden, which all attend Northside ISD. My oldest, Ayden, is a Brennan High School student and a senior. And like Dr. Wood said, he couldn't be here, but he did record a video message that I would like to share.
The opportunity of AlamoPROMISE is that it will provide a future to continue my education as a Northwest Vista student and pursue academic opportunities in computer science, plus focus on my studies and build a path forward to graduate with my associate's degree and transfer with honors to UTSA. What AlamoPROMISE means to me is that I get to go to college and I wouldn't have to worry about paying, and I would get to focus on my education and pursue what I want to do in my future.
Thank you. And if you know Ayden, he would have loved to have been here to talk to y'all. He would have told you that Northwest Vista College was his first choice after graduation, even before he heard about the AlamoPROMISE. So thank you. Yes. I think something told me in my heart, to advocate Northwest Vista from the beginning for him. So once again, thank you, everyone. When I first heard about the news the other way from Chris and Denise, at first, it didn't sink in right away because I just couldn't believe it. I was very speechless. And after my interview, then it hit me that, it's happening. Thank you to Alamo College for giving me and my son and my family an incredible opportunity that will open doors for him and for all of the NISD and Bexar County students. This will assist us as a family in a big way financially and will allow my son not to worry about where money will come from for college. I always tell my son that education is something that cannot be taken away. That's one thing my dad would always say. I'm very proud of Ayden for all his accomplishments, and I'm most proud of that he takes the next step by saving his seat to be an AlamoPROMISE scholar and being an example to his two younger sisters. So thank you so much. I really appreciate this. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Guzman, for sharing your story. We are so proud of you, your family, of Ayden. We hope he aces that calculus final today. But we just want to thank you for being an advocate for your family, for your students, and know that if you ever need assistance, we are here. There are a room full of individuals and educators and professionals ready to help. So thank you again. And y'all, thank you so much for being here this morning. Here at Alamo, Dr. Flotis mentioned we are always in motion. We are data-driven. We talk numbers and figures all of the time, but it's really wonderful to take a moment to reflect on the stories of our students, of our families, and just see the work that's happening in our community because of all of you and so many others, thousands of individuals working to impact the lives of thousands of students and their families. So thank you again for joining us this morning. I hope you take the energy and excitement from today's announcement on into the rest of your day, your week, and into the holiday season. We invite you to stay and have conversation and refreshments with you and with the rest of us, and just have a wonderful day. Thank you again.
Students and board members to do a photo.
Yes, ma'am.